Welcome to Hooked by Happenstance Makes Monday, episode number 25, Birdbrained. Today, I'm talking to you in the morning, so good morning for once. Ordinarily, it's the wee hours of the morning. However, right now it's like 9:30-ish, and it just feels like the wee hours of the morning. It is Tuesday because on Monday night, I just kind of crashed and burned before I got this all filmed. So, here we are. And the word of the day today, and the word of my week, is birdbrained. Just gonna pull up the definition right here. So, birdbrain is a noun, which is slang, meaning a stupid, foolish, or scatterbrained person, which feels kind of fitting this week. In addition, birdbrain came about kind of as a word of use in about 1925, and I thought it was interesting, according to Google's Ngram, where they analyze a whole bunch of books to see the usage of words. It came to prominence in the mid-20s, and then it kind of went up, like, slowly until about the mid-80s, and it has remained at the same rate since the mid-80s till now. So that's, like, a fairly long time, and it's a fairly common term. The reason that birdbrain is also relevant this week is that I had birds on the brain. I do not have the birds anymore, but I'm going to try and use my computery skills to show them to you over here. Otherwise, you can also check out on the channel here, there is a tutorial on how to make my crocheted turkey pattern, which is very simple. It is 2 pieces, 1 piece for the body, 1 piece for the tail, which is worked as a circle and then folded, so you get a 2-tiered tail, and they're simply sewn together. It's a quick project that can be worked up in just a few hours. The tutorial itself is 40 minutes long, and I cut out the parts where I'm actually doing the rounds, so it is a fairly quick project. I made 3 of them this week. I made 2 turkeys and I made 1 peacock, and they are all winging their way west to go to my family for Thanksgiving. So the backstory of these turkeys is that last year during October on my daily vlog channel, Happenstance Place, I did a series I called 31 Projects in 31 Days, where I did 31 crafty and organizational projects around my house during the month of October. One of the things that I made was a set of 2 large turkeys and 3 tiny turkeys to represent our family, and they were very cute. Though I was not necessarily quite happy with how I made the tail, I did some changes. I made a peacock. I liked it better. I then sold that peacock before I really wrote down the tail pattern. Not a great plan. Well, it was good because, I enjoyed the money, but it was not good from a pattern standpoint. But even still, the turkey tail was not perfect, and so I played with it a bit this year, and I tweaked everything, and yeah, I came up with the turkey pattern that I really enjoy. So I made those, and that was, kind of a big, at least a mental time suck on things, because I had to make them, write out the pattern, check it, and then also film the tutorial, and then edit the tutorial. Tutorial editing takes a bit of time. So the next thing that is off my hook this week is this here. Again, another one of my patterns. This is the Friendly Fish, made in Red Heart Super Saver in the color Banana Berry, and then Red Heart Soft Metallic in the color White for the eyes, and then a little bit of black Super Saver. So this is going to be a swimmy little present for my soon-to-be 4-year-old's birthday at the end of the week. He had asked me to make him a fish. Last year I made him a fish pillow out of, I want to say, a free pattern from the Yarn Inspiration site. It's big, and it has giant lips, and it's adorable. But I was not making another one of those because they take multiple skeins of yarn. And a toy that takes multiple full skeins of yarn, as you know, is gigantic and a lot of time. So I whipped this up. It was actually a Let Peach Let Pick project. If you have not been following along, Let Peach Let Pick is a series I've been doing where my Fabry doppelganger Peachlet assigns me drawers in my stash, and then I have to pick projects out of them, basically. So she picked that one for me, and it hopped right on my hook while I was, before I even started editing. I was like, I'm just going to do a few rounds. Then I started editing, and yeah, I got the fish done before it was fully uploaded on YouTube even. So another super quick pattern, and if you can make a hat, you can totally make this fish, because it is just increasing straight to some extent, just some small shaping, then some decreasing, and then boom, tail. That's it. And then again, the eyes are just little hats basically, and then you sew them on. It's very, very simple. Toys are not as hard as people make them out to be. They really aren't. And the people that tell you they are just want you to be impressed that they know how to make toys. So I think that's everything that is off my hook. Yes. So what has been on my hook this week? Well, one thing that was on my hook this week is my Lisa shawl once more. It got some more love. She's a growing. I don't know how big she's going to end up. We'll see. And she's tangled. There we go. Okay, so here is my Lisa shawl in its current state. And so last week when I showed you, I was right here at the end of this solid section. So I put in this lace section, this solid section, and I started on the next lace section. As you know, the thing with triangular shawls is that the sections just keep getting bigger. So I am happy that if I can just keep putting in a lace and a solid section every week till I'm done, she'll be done fairly soon here. I'm getting down to the end of the ball that I have made, and so I'm going to need to go and figure out what I'm going to do yarn-wise, because this is the one I was having issues with unwinding the yarn. You know, one of those times when you actually understand why they clearanced the yarn, because, yeah, it had problems. Another thing that I worked on this week was another Wet Peach Lip Pig project, which is the hooded crochet sweater vest out of Crochet World's October 2017 issue for my daughter for Christmas. And I am making this out of Red Heart with Love in the colors aubergine, pewter, and then a mill end bag of yarn I'm fairly certain is Red Heart with Love in the color black. And last week I just had the back and the bottom ribbing done. Well, I finished the back, as you can see, and I finished the front, as you can see, and I finished the hood, and I'm really, really happy with it. See how nice the stripes turned out? I was pretty happy with that. And I've also done the edging around the hood. I just need to tack the hood down, do the arm edging, and weave in my ends so that she does not look like a mess when she's walking around. So this will be done here shortly. I just need to, I don't know, get up the gumption to deal with those ends. But there's really no way to avoid ends. I did carry the yarn a lot throughout this project, but there's just no avoiding some ends. And then this is a pieced project, so it's got several pieces, which I just sewed together. And I sewed them together using slip stitches because I feel like it's stronger, and it actually, it pulled the stripes together really nice. I don't know if you can see that, but there's not gapping and everything lines up really nice. So I'm very happy with how that is turning out, and hopefully this week I will give it the love it deserves, finish it, and have one more thing off my plate going. Though it might not be till next week. We'll see. This is just a very hectic week around here in lifey stuff. We've just got a lot going on, so I don't know if I will be able to get to it. But my hope is that this is kind of near the top of the project heap, which is quite the heap sometimes. And the final, dropping my stitch markers. I'll have to go find those. Anyways, the final thing that I worked on was my fall sweater, which has taken a little bit more mental energy than I would like, because it became very apparent this week that I am not going to have enough yarn to make the sweater to pattern, so I'm going to make some adjustments. My plan had been to make the Over Easy cowl neck sweater by Yarnspirations. It's a free pattern. See if I can find the picture. Here it is. This. But I am certainly not going to have enough yarn to make the cowl neck. I already changed the sleeves because I didn't want that ribbing in them. And I'm not going to have enough yarn to make the front to pattern. So, here is where it stands. I did make the arms. Here's one arm. And the reason that I kind of didn't have enough yarn, I thought I did. I had kind of mapped it out. The arms just took more yarn than I expected. And here's the other arm. They obviously need to be seamed still, but I think I'm going to seam in a different color yarn because I'm going to be running so short of this. So I have my two sleeves. Those are going to stay as is because I want them this length. Then I have been working on the back, which I had already finished. Put two skeins into. Come on, you're all hooked up. There we go. So I'm starting to do the sleeve shaping here. This is going to be the back. And then the front, I had two skeins into, and what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to tear back a little ways, and I'm actually going to make it like a deep, deep V-neck. that I could wear like a shirt under. But it is going to still be super pretty. It's just not going to be the sweater I had necessarily planned, but I really think I'm going to like it. And I'm enjoying how this particular pattern is working up in this yarn. If you're curious, why don't you just get more yarn? Well, first of all, this yarn is discontinued. And yes, I know you can find people that have it. There is actually very little of it even available on D-Stash on Ravelry. There's a total of 4 skeins listed that are on D-Stash between 2 different people. And I could contact those people. I mean, the yarn isn't super expensive, but I really just wanted to make this out of stash, and I don't know, I just don't want to do that. I'm also concerned that the dye lots won't match, and at this point I don't want, like, I'm so far in, I don't want it to tear back to mix yarn, so I'm just going to change the pattern a bit, which will be fine, I think, and see how that all turns out. Oh yeah, and I have 1 skein left that hasn't been touched, and then there's the skein that is currently attached to it. So I think we'll make it. And then the final thing that I worked on this week is a strung out project. The strung out project I worked on, and my strung out projects are projects that are intentionally long term as opposed to things that just sit on the hook and are worked on for a long time. Looking at you, fall sweater. So I worked some on my scrap stash blanket because my scrap stash was getting so extensive that I could no longer close this plastic box where I keep them all. And my rule for myself has been that I need to be able to, I store 1 strip in there because I use it to measure the one that I'm currently working on. So I need to be able to store this, the one I'm working on, and the balls of yarn with the lid closed. If I can't, then that means I need to start adding balls in so I can at least get the lid closed, and I can get the lid closed again. So, what I added, I was at the stitch marker last time that you saw this, and I have finished another strip. I added this lavender super saver, this is wildflower super saver, and this is turquoise super saver. So that strip is done. So I've now completed, this is strip number 9, and I need 16 of them to finish my blanket. So I'm more than halfway now. So there's number 9, and then I started in on strip 10, which is these. So it's got a little bit of everything, just stuff that a lot of these are things that I have freaker frogged, actually a lot of them, and then bits and pieces that are left over from projects I finished. So I am working on that just as I kind of have time and mental energy, so that will hopefully be getting done here. I don't know, by the end of the winter maybe I should be done with this whole blanket, but we'll see. It all depends how many scraps I come up with, which really that depends on how many projects I can get done. And I think that is everything that I worked on this week. Yes, that is. See, feeling a little bird-brained here. Just trying to remember where I'm at. So, I just wanted to make sure to wish everybody in the States a happy Thanksgiving, if that's a thing that you do. At least I think we should all be thankful every day. The Thanksgiving part, we are time-shifting Thanksgiving because basically it's just a big delicious meal, and we don't really have time this week for a big delicious meal because my town has an event at the end of the weekend and my son has his birthday coming up. So it's just not really a convenient time for Thanksgiving. It's a common thing we do is time shift Thanksgiving. So we will be doing Thanksgiving when I feel like it. So anyways, I hope that you all can find a lot of crafting time this week, which should be maybe more of a manageable thing since there will be some time off and some cooler weather, so cozy up under some yarn, and I will see you all next time. Bye!